FunPop. 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 Hey, what's up, Oh, I forgot to turn my camera on like I said I would. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is FunPop. My name is Mav. Welcome to episode 30. I've been away for a while, and I maybe look a little bit different. It's okay, though. We're here. We're live. Psychonauts is on his way, supposedly. He's asleep. No, he I think he just woke up. How's everybody doing in the chat? Hope you're ready for a fun show. Jasper, are you ready for a fun show? How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm all right. Psycho just put in the thing. I don't know if you need to log him into Zoom or
not. He's not here.
Okay.
I'll allow you into Zoom, Psycho, when you're here. It's taking forever to get into Zoom, you said.
You got some nice eyebrows under those glasses, I can see.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife is not feeling the look, I don't think.
Playing with some filters.
Yeah. You know, you got to do what you got to do, you know, like I feel like I look like crap still after the last week. So I was trying to, you know, Guy Fieri it up a little bit, you know, put on a little flair.
I don't think that's working for you.
Okay. All right. So we'll lose some of the flair. The thing is, like, I have like 5 different things on. Okay, so we'll start off with no glasses. Kate's calls me a douche. We'll lose the eyebrows, and then we'll lose the mustache and beard. That's all natural. Here we go. I'm here. It's me. Welcome to Flavor Town, she says. Yeah. I hope everybody's doing well. Like I said, thanks for being here nice and early in the chat. Gbone back. Lovely wife, Kaitlin. Jasper, what have you been up to, dude?
Just playing Forza like everyone else on the internet.
Yeah. Same. Yeah, it's a good game. I feel like the game is taking the world by storm.
I don't know if like it's just because I'm not playing Call of Duty right now, but like I've heard like nothing about Call of Duty. Like usually you hear something about it, but is it just because I'm not into it this year, or like I don't know if it's just trash?
I saw somewhere where like was #1 selling game still for like the weekend or something like that. But like that's according to what? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Sales numbers is hard to get now.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, there's not as much retail in store right now still across the world, you know, so a lot of things are more digital anyway. I think it's harder to gauge, man. Like I don't know, I haven't seen as many people playing it on stream or anything either. Like I was
playing Forza last night and some random person just invited me to Call of Duty Vanguard. I was like, no.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, they just knew you're good, right? So they're trying to get you in there. Do you usually play on PC?
I mean, I'll play some games on PC. Like if it's only on PC, I usually play it there.
But like, what about Call of Duty? Xbox?
Yeah, I just play on Xbox.
Right on. Shout out to Phasma as well. Psycho is on his way. He says that OBS isn't starting very well for him. Not OBS, but Zoom. So we'll see him in a little bit. But so we can get started with the conversation a little bit. Now, there was a big Marvel movie to release this past week. One that I unfortunately have not had a chance to see yet because I don't want to be the guy in the theater coughing a lung and hacking away and making everybody regret going out in public. And also, ruining the movie with sound for everybody. So I've kind of restrained myself from being able to go see that movie. And I know you haven't had a chance to either.
Nope. I've just been playing Forza.
Yeah, that's part of it too. I've been pretty content, But this movie is still fairly interesting. So I want to kind of talk about it for the other aspects where it's kind of been making the news. Now, I've been hearing actually a lot of good things, right, from people that have seen it that I know that say they really like the movie on Twitter and stuff, people's opinions that I trust. But we have this like overwhelmingly like samey opinion out there from critics. And this is actually the lowest rated MCU movie critically, according to Rotten Tomatoes. Whereas this has I think it's a 47% on Rotten Tomatoes, and
Is it
comparing
that low?
47, 48. It's the only rotten MCU movie. All the other ones are positive. The next closest one is Thor: The Dark World at 66%. The 47%, yeah. Eternals is 47%. The next closest is Thor: The Dark World at 66% rotten. So this is the only one below that 50% threshold, right? The other thing is this has the largest disparity between critics and user scores out of any of the MCU movies, where the user base has it as an 80 and the critics have it as a 47. So that is a 33% differential between the critics and the audience scores, which is very, very interesting. I don't know exactly what's triggered this, but I want to go into some comparisons here, just for the sake of it. Right now, reviews scores aren't everything, but generally these MCU movies have done favorably well critically and with the audience, right? This one is only doing well with the audience, not the critics. Black Widow, 79 critics, 91 audience. Eternals, 47 and 80. Again, drastically different. Shang-Chi, 92% critic, 98% audience. Wanda, that's a show. I'm not going to go into the shows. Skip the shows. But even the shows mostly do well, especially the Disney Plus shows. Captain Marvel. Now, Captain Marvel, I don't know what happened here. Did it get review bombed?
By the audience or
Yeah,
just
by the audience.
I
Because
think
it
it
has
was just like
45% on the audience. Does that sound right to you? That's kind of strange. 79% Rotten Tomatoes, 45% on the audience score. That can't be. Is that right? Everybody liked Captain Marvel.
Well, I think that I know there's a big controversy with that because there's like a bunch of like woke stuff people were complaining about at the time for that. So
Okay, so it probably got review bombed, right?
yeah.
Okay, that's the one thing is like with the audience scores too. Is like you always have to take these things with a grain of salt. So Captain Marvel, I'm not going to pay too much attention to that audience score on that because I remember Marvel fans pretty much liking the movie, right? Avengers Endgame, 94 and a 90. Spider-Man Far From Home, 90 and a 95. Ant-Man and the Wasp, 87-75. Black Panther, 96-79. Avengers Infinity War, 85-91. Spider-Man Homecoming, 92-87. Thor Ragnarok, 93-87. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, 85-87. I mean, this is just like down the line, you can kind of see Civil War, 90-89. Doctor Strange, 89-85. Age
I
of
just feel like
Ultron, 76,
the
83.
Eternals like critic score is wrong. Like, how does that do worse than like Thor or the Hulk? It's like it seems off when you look at it.
Right. and that's what kind of what I want to get into, right? Even so, Ant-Man 83, 86, Winter Soldier 90, 92, Guardians of the Galaxy 92, 92, Iron Man 3 79, 78, Thor: The Dark World 66, 75, um, the First Avenger 80, 74, Thor 77, 76, Iron Man 2 72, 71, Incredible Hulk 67 and 70. Just like you're saying, Jasper, it's like it's kind of strange going to where this movie that we're hearing from people so many positive things about get a 47% rotten and be the only rotten MCU movie from Rotten Tomatoes when the audience score is like an 80. I just don't get it. What's up, Psychonauts? How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Jesus.
Zoom not cooperating with you today.
No. I'm like, what the F?
Yeah, you have a good sleep, sir? Because I know you got to work tonight.
Yeah, I had a nice little 6-hour nap.
Right on. So we were talking about the basic critic reception from the Eternals and the disparity of that compared to all the other MCU movies. And it seems kind of like a little jarring, right? And
Yeah.
it's kind of strange, especially because audience wise, it's faring about the same. So I saw a couple articles from critics, including Forbes was one of them, a Hollywood Reporter, and they seem kind of baffled by it too. Right, so I kind of wanted to bring that to attention, bringing them saying they don't really understand, as like Jasper said. They even use this as an example. Thor: The Dark World has a 66% aggregate score, despite being despite being one of the lamest MCU films. But critics disliked Eternals so much it has a rotten of 47%.
Well,
And it also has the
I
biggest
have
disparity as well. So it's like kind of strange.
I haven't seen it yet, but
Yeah.
from what I've heard outside of critics, this really sets up the story arc in this. Like tells the story. I guess like the end credit scene, it shows a certain person that's, I guess it's going to be a pretty big story, but I guess the person that they had that took place in this end credit scene, people are not liking who it is. But people that MCU like his acting style. I don't know if we should spoil anything if anybody has or actually hasn't seen it yet. So
Just looking real quick, I was like trying to find another movie that's like 47%, and like the only one that's coming up that's like new is Clifford. Is it a 55? How is Eternals worse than Clifford?
Clifford the big red dog.
Yeah.
The movie's doing well. Like, it's like the fourth biggest movie of the year, and the other ones are all Marvel movies as well, I think. So it, like, sales wise and stuff, like at the box office, it's not really a disappointment. I think Shang-Chi did so good that it was kind of like a shocker. And then this
yeah.
one is like just so disappointing critically that it's also a shocker, right? And is this like something that is worrisome as like the critics starting to turn on Marvel, or is this just that not great of a movie? I see Brian. Shout out to our friend Brian Noobs and Pros, who's a fellow Marvel fan in the chat, who has gotten to see the movie, right? Which we neither three of us have had a chance to yet. I don't think you have either yet, right, Psycho?
No, I was gonna do it yesterday, but things came up and I just didn't have the time. But uh King David, he loves this movie, so
Yeah.
it's like it I, I don't know what transpired in the movie that got it so bad. Was it the lack of action? Was it more setting up a story of what's going to happen? I guess like I've watched a couple clips of the whole thing, like Thanos saved the world because of what actually happens in Eternals. The Celestial, you know, if Thanos didn't kill everybody, snap his finger, wipe out half the humanity or of life on the universe, that the Celestial is going to come and destroy it anyways. So technically, he saved it. So it's. I don't know if it's too far thinking for critics and they just don't like it.
Yeah, or you
And
think it might be too deep into the MCU lore and less,
I,
right?
yeah,
That's
and
a possibility.
I haven't
and
seen it
that's
yet, but I know there's like 20 characters like on the posters. Like, is there stories like maybe split up where you just don't connect with any of them?
it. So the Eternals, like Thanos is an Eternal. Thanos' brother is an Eternal, but Thanos goes and does his thing. But his brother uh, is, well, fuck it. He's at the post-credit scene. So he, so it's a big
Say no
deal.
more.
Yeah. So it's like
Yeah,
we get to learn a little bit more about Thanos
right.
and his little back history. Because you see his brother, and his brother's normal looking. He doesn't have that gene that mutated him to look like the purple grimace that he is. But yeah, it's interesting what they are. I think Marvel's trying to do with the internals, and critics are like, this is supposed to be a superhero action film, and it's not. Well, no, this could be the movie that sets up what is going to happen, why they weren't around, and the things that were happening behind the scenes that we did not know about. That this all sets it up, and it's like, oh shit, there was a larger threat that's looming over humanity, and they didn't like that story arc. That's the only thing I can think of is why critics are shitting on this movie.
What I was saying was like there's like too many like characters to like focus on, so you never like get a good like story with like one person to like connect with him. Like there's like 14 of them. It's like
Yeah,
It's
it
a
splits
lot
it
of
up
new
too much.
characters at once.
Yeah.
there is. And like Kit Harington's character, the Black Knight, they're going to be talking. He's going to have like a standalone, I guess. There was mention of Blade in this movie, so yeah, I don't know if it was a post-credit scene or within the movie itself with Kit Harington's character, the Black Knight. So we might see a spin-off. That's how
Yeah.
Blade could be
No
introduced.
spoilers for me, please, sir. No more.
Blade is coming. Sorry.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait to say. Honestly, I mean, I think it's probably a culmination of like a lot of things, because this is, from what we've seen, going to be the kicking off point for the whole big story arc of the phase, right? Of the next phase, right? And the next saga, not just the next phase, like really the next saga, right? And I think that they got a lot that they want to accomplish probably in this movie. And I think from a lot of the stuff that I've seen, it's like they do say some of that where it's like they're saying, hey, there's too many new characters for them to really spend enough time for any of them. And it's a lot to do in one movie, and they feel like the end credit scenes do more for the story building than the movie did it itself, right? Is what I've seen from the credits, but I still want to like watch the movie to get to know these characters and stuff and get to know. I think there's a lot probably here that maybe just the average critic doesn't. It's not like a Marvel fan would probably like overlook or not necessarily care about, right? And maybe
Well,
as these movies get more deeper and convoluted, it's going to be harder to produce like something that the is going to be just critically loved, right? It's
yeah,
possibly.
Well, this is kind of the
I,
complaint with like the first Suicide Squad was like there was too many people and they just kept splitting up like new characters like every 10 minutes. So
yeah. I see me personally. I think like the Marvel fan, like a hardcore Marvel fan, is will like this movie. The casual Marvel fan that watches it because it's a MCU movie, they might not get it because they don't know who the
Yeah.
internals are, what what they are within the MCU, and they probably just like, oh, this is not what I expected. Well, what did you expect really? Did you expect like the Avengers? 'Cause that's not what
Right.
they do.
some
You know,
hot dude beating up a bunch of people.
yeah, because they're going around getting other internals, trying to recruit them to stop this incoming threat that's coming. That's going to set up the saga, like you were saying. So I think there's just way too much, and I think critics also just like, oh, this is too much of a um, what's the word? They just didn't get what the concept of this movie was supposed to tell. So,
Yeah.
it's obvious they didn't like it, but I don't know. I don't listen. I tend not to listen to those critics anyways.
Yeah.
'Cause the fuck does Forbes know?
So I've seen another going back to the one Forbes article, that they go on to say also about talk about how like this director, I think like she is, I think was just coming off of a like an Academy Award, right? For best director and best picture for Nomadland, right?
Hmm.
And so this was a like passion project, I believe, or something. So like anyway, like she really put a lot into this, but at the same time, they were she's getting criticized a lot. I think that it's a Marvel movie still. You know what I mean? Like whereas I think a lot of the critics are looking at who is making the movie and they're thinking of what could have been and all these things instead of really diving in to what it just what it is and accepting that. So this the Hollywood Reporter. I want to read this because this is another critic. Okay. For what it's worth, I think the Eternals is one of the best MCU entries to date, and an ambitious love letter to superheroes as modern mythology, something Jack Kirby was innately interested in exploring later in his career. Um, Largely inspired by Eric von Daniken's Chariot of the Gods, which made bold claims about alien influence on early civilizations, Kirby's Eternals was a marked shift for the creator who had defined the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, the X-Men, and most of the Marvel Universe. Eternals was Kirby's chance to do something different, separate from the larger and more familiar Marvel Universe. Within those 19 issues, Kirby not only explained the origin of life on the planet, but attributed all of humans' legends of gods and monsters to two cousin races, Eternals and Deviants. Zeus and Athena, Gilgamesh, Satan, vampires, all stories formed around the existence of these strange beings born of a cosmic experiment. Seeds of Kirby's work here would go on um, to further define Marvel and DC, but also influence sci-fi films like the Matrix trilogy. Um, but as fondly as we may look upon Kirby's Eternals work today, this was not the case at the time. As soon as the series debuted, fan letters poured in proving the title divisive among comic readers. Much of the pushback came from readers who either wanted the Eternals to be part of the Marvel Universe or separate from it. So like this critic who's basically saying that this is one of their favorite movies for a lot of reasons in the MCU is making references to Jack Kirby facing a lot of the same criticism when he came out with the original works, right? So maybe they did stay true to a lot of the heart of what it is, right? And maybe it's just still proving to be a divisive property. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I give props to Marvel for doing a movie like that. If that's the case, that if Jack Kirby, the godfather of freaking comic books, he freaking wrote so many and made so many beloved characters that we know from DC and Marvel, that it's just it see that's something, a review if I read, would get me excited. If I had no idea who the internals were, if I was new into the MCU, or not too sure of what the comic book characters were, see, that's a review that will be okay, that intrigues me, let me get my own opinion. And people, like I said, like from Forbes and all that, they're just in like, oh, it's not Avengers, so it wasn't what we wanted.
Well, from what that review's like saying, like this is like a big like changing point or a new starting point for like the universe. And like usually whenever like a company or something does like a big change or a new starting point to like rebrand like the whole series, it's usually always like revered like bad.
Yeah.
Because like it's a big change and all people want to keep all the old stuff. So I
Yeah.
can see where
Yeah.
like it's coming from.
And that was a Hollywood Reporter that I read. So these are two pretty prominent, review sites, right? Forbes and Hollywood Reporter. So I'm pulling these opinions from here, right? And I just found it interesting that they're making it, talking not just about their opinion of the movie, but like how they're kind of confused about the overall consensus of the critic scores. This one on Forbes went on to say, I thought it was an enjoyable film that introduces us to the Celestials and widens Marvel's universe a bit. Like the character dynamics, the murderous twist, and the action, and despite being somewhat dark and brooding at times, there was plenty of humor and lighter moments. It was different than a lot of Marvel stuff, but ultimately was still just a big action-packed superhero movie. And many critics seem to think that's a problem. They wanted a Zhao's superhero movie to be more like her previous film, Nomadland, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture. Frankly, I thought that was a pretty good movie, but not really Best Picture material, but it's certainly not the kind of movie you'd want in the MCU, right? So again, like looking at this director and what she's accomplished recently and expecting critics maybe expecting something like that, as opposed to just realizing that, hey, all these Marvel movies have a definite Marvel stamp, right? And a Marvel identity. And if a director's making something in that world, it's probably going to still feel like a big Marvel action movie, right? And I think some of the critics may be disappointed with that, looking for something completely different.
Well, it's also like, how much control does like Marvel have over like the actual vision of it? Like, are they like more controlling? Like, could she do what she wanted to do? Like, I don't know how like controlling Marvel is with that and stuff.
It sounded like she was able to do what she wanted to do, as long as it's within the context of what the source material was. So maybe it was too in depth for critics, and it felt different from the typical like Hulk smash Marvel movies that we've known. So
yeah. So this is getting to the heart of it, because Forbes goes on to quote several of the critics, right? He says basically, so CBS's Eli Glasner complains that, like Galactus gobbling a planet, Zhao's unique filmmaking style has been subsumed by the mighty Marvel maw. as though her unique filmmaking style should have been used to make a Marvel movie that's not a Marvel movie. Like that's what the Forbes writer's saying. Like, why? Like, she's not supposed to be making a Marvel movie, obviously, because he goes on to say that the exact sentiment is echoed over and over again, including Candace McMillan of Seattle Refined writes that Zhao is in the mouth of the Marvel beast with this one. It can devour even the most able-eyed filmmaker, which is exactly what Eternals does. Heaven for, and then so again, the Forbes critics moving on to say, heaven forbid Zhao make an MCU movie. That's an MCU movie, right? So this is like, it reminds me of video games in a way, when it's like, okay, oh, it's another Far Cry game, right? It's another, it's another this, it's another that. Like it's a
Another
bad,
Call of
it's a
Duty.
bad, it's a bad thing, Well, we'll not get into
Love
that one. The AV Club's review is titled "Eternals turns Adventures of Ageless Space Gods into just another Marvel movie." Which, yes, it is just another Marvel movie. What did you honestly expect? So like the basic consensus is that this permeates throughout most of the like negative reviews, that it's just another Marvel movie. So I'm starting to wonder if a lot of these critics were not actually wanting this to be a Marvel movie or something. And this is from the Forbes writer.
Am I hearing you right? That the biggest complaint, the issue is with this Marvel movie, that it's a Marvel movie?
Yes.
Are you fucking serious?
That's
why it's getting,
and
because the director
yeah,
who they picked
is an Academy Award
did
winner recently, and did
something that was, they wanted that same style in a Marvel, like, wow, okay.
So shout out to Eric Kane, who is a senior contributor at Forbes, for pointing these out, because I found that it was like actually interesting to read this article, because this is something that permeates all kind of culture and entertainment and stuff. It's about, I kind of call it like piggybacking opinions, right? Like these certain threads get passed through, and once somebody starts it, it's like everybody starts piggybacking off of that and starts writing similar things, right? And the same thing happened with Far Cry even before it was released, when they started showing some of that pre-release stuff about it being another Far Cry game. Guess what? That game came out and Far Cry fans loved it, right? And it was very popular. But it's weird, Forza Horizon 5, which is
another Forza
game, right? And that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. In fact, it's a great thing, right? It gets none of that in the reviews, right? Except a little footnote. Oh, and it's more Forza, but you know what I mean? So it's like weird how with some things people all of a sudden just choose, okay, this is the one we're going to attack with this mentality. Like it's too samey this time, right?
I think these people are just all in like each other's like phone book. So like whenever it's like, okay, we're doing a bad opinion on this one. Like, okay, let's all do a bad opinion on this one.
Yeah, it's like, it seems like they can't form their own opinion. They have to be like, oh, well, he's shitting on it. Well, I don't want to be the one that stands out. So let me join in on the on the parade of shitting on this movie. What it seems like to me.
I think here's what it is. I think somebody like a lot of these reviewers are all kind of I don't want to come across as anti-reviewer because I've been accused of being anti-reviewer as well. But a lot of times, a lot of these reviewers are pretentious snobs, right? And they think their opinion is better than the average person and stuff like this. But also, when somebody goes and reviews something that they look up to or whatever, it's like they try and get a beat on what the overall sense is, so that way their opinion seems more justified and within the realm of reasoning what everybody's thinking, right? And it's like if they come out with like their own personal thought and judge something based on the way that they actually see it, then they're sometimes are afraid that maybe their reviews in the future won't be as valued as high because they have a strange or different type of take, right? Because you see these samey themes run throughout all types of media with review scores, right? And it's usually from the big media. It's not usually from like passionate fans or like people that run their own blogs and all these things. It's usually from some of the big media. That's why I wanted to point this out from the Forbes contributor, because it's like I would expect them to follow trends too, right? A lot of times, but they're actually calling this out. So I actually appreciated that.
Okay, I retract my previous statement of Forbes doesn't know anything. So I'm sorry, Forbes. Back on.
Well, you know, they all different contributors and stuff, and this one, Eric Kane, he's a senior contributor. Says he writes about video games, entertainment, and culture, right? And this is not necessarily like his review. It's just it's more of an it reads like
Summary of all the
a
reviews.
summary of an opinion piece saying like the critics and his title says the critics must be crazy because Marvel's Eternals is solid superhero fun, right? And that kind of permeates sort of like a lot of the stuff that I've heard and seen from people that I trust their opinions on. I've seen some like, hey, it's not like the best Marvel movie, it's not the worst, but it, you know what I mean? It's not for it to get this again to show why I'm even mentioning this. The lowest Rotten Tomatoes score besides Eternals was Thor: The Dark World at 66%. This one has a 47.
Wow.
And in fact, the audience rating on this one is an 80, which is much higher than Thor: The Dark World.
It just seems like the critics just bandwagon together and be like, let's shut it down. How to stop this?
It's almost like, hey, they wait for one person's thought. Hey, what are they gonna say? What are they gonna say? You know, I need to make sure like my thoughts align. It's weird.
Yeah.
I've seen it in games media a lot.
Oh yeah.
For a long time, and you know, I've seen it in movie media as well. You know, it from sites like IGN and things like that. Right? It used to happen. I remember like, not that okay, Adam Sandler movies like are popcorn stupid movies, right? But all of a sudden, like even though the movies were all the same, it just became uncool to think Adam Sandler movies are funny anymore, right? At a certain point, like it was like, oh, they're just all stupid now. Oh, and another one, blah 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 blah. And it's like everybody was that.
So they kind of were.
Yeah, they were,
like,
but they always were from the beginning, right? That's what
well,
I'm saying.
I mean, like Billy Madison and like Jack and Jill or whatever it was, it's like doesn't hold up. It's like not comparable.
Well, okay, so if you look at like Waterboy and a lot of those, and yeah, there's some classics, right? But it got to the point where it was like they just shat on everything just immediately because his name was associated with it, right? And it took like something completely different off the wall. It's like following this, like, oh, it's not cool to like this anymore. The same thing happened with Xbox in 2013. It's not cool to like Xbox anymore. All of a sudden, the games don't even review critically as well, even if they're really good, right? It's like this like mindset thing, right? And following trends and what's cool and what's not cool and what's fun, what's okay to like, what's not okay to like. And that's one thing I hate about reviews and stuff in general, because they seem to all just share the same damn opinion.
And that's why I don't look for big reviews from like big companies. I just like go for small YouTubers because they're like they have no agenda. It's just like this is what I think.
Yeah. So it's just weird. This one is like so drastically like jumps off the page, right? So is this something to worry about? Do you think this is going to be a trend now?
No,
because
Spider-Man will come out and destroy it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What if
everyone's
it doesn't?
Gonna love Spider-Man?
What if? Well, no, because everybody wants to love Spider-Man, but this was a new IP, right? Like this has like things to live up to.
Yeah, I don't know. I will form my own opinion when I will probably watch it Saturday. But I don't have time before work because that's all I do now is work and sleep and play video games.
Yeah.
Fucking third shift life. But yeah, I'll watch it and see what all the hubbub is about. And if I watch it and it freaking is really good, all the critics are shitting on it. Those people that's all they did was that someone formed a bad opinion and they all ran with it.
Yeah. I'm not saying that like the movie's like amazing, right? Like
yeah, I mean, we haven't seen it, so we really can't talk on it.
Exactly. I can't. I'm just basically talking about reviews and how they're all now. Maybe if I go and watch this movie and I'm like, oh, that sucks. It was a Marvel movie. Then I'll look at myself and be like, what the hell did I just say? I love Marvel movies. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like maybe that's going to happen, but that's what all the review scores are bashing it for. So I'm curious, you know, after I get to see it, you know, like how it's going to hold up and how it's going to stand out. And what does it do for all of the MCU? And, you know, is it a good movie? Does it stand on its own? You know, I think all these movies need to be able to stand on their own as well. Right. But, we'll see. I'm really curious because, it's weird seeing a MCU movie with a 47 on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's just like
weird.
It's just weird seeing like it at a 47. Like, how is this worse than like some movies that are revered as like really bad, but they're like at a 70 on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, it's being overly critical at times, possibly, right? Well, also like, are they critiquing this? They have a different standard now, because like they're comparing it to other MCU movies, right? Like, so there's so many of them now that it's like this own genre within film, right? Where you're not comparing it to Clifford the Big Red Dog, you're comparing it to Endgame. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess like when you look for movie review, I feel like it should be based on like you're reviewing it as a movie, not like you're reviewing it as like in some category or something. I don't know. It's like,
yeah. So I'm curious. I'm gonna look up the Green Lantern, because Spooky just brought it up in the chat, and I want to see what its
oh god,
what its score was.
I'm gonna guess a 57.
That probably did.
That's my
better.
guess. Is a 57.
I'm trying to bring. I think it was removed from Rotten Tomatoes. Wow, is it that hard to look up a movie on Rotten Tomatoes? I just searched for the Green Lantern. How can that?
I found it. It's a 26.
Okay. So.
And it's a 45 audience.
All right. So what's another historically bad? How about X-Men Origins Wolverine?
Was that? Yeah, I guess it was kind of bad.
I guess that was kind of bad. But we'll play. Let's find the Marvel. Let's find the Marvel movie that rated worse than Eternals.
Let's see. Oh, 37 for X-Men Wolverine Origins.
It's better than X-Men Origins. All right. How about X-Men?
Fantastic.
Okay. What's
Phoenix?
The Dark Phoenix? Yeah.
And then do the new Fantastic Four after that.
Oh, that one's going to be really bad.
Ooh, Dark Phoenix is a 22, but it did get a 64 audience.
Oh,
okay.
It's
the best audience.
All right. Okay, so
which Fantastic Four?
The new one with
the newest one.
I forget who was in that. It was the guy from the drummer movie. The drumming movie. You know, where he's a drummer and he's like obsessively like.
Oh my god, this is the worst one.
What did it get?
It's a 9.
Oh my god. A 9?
See,
an 18 audience.
Well,
So
this
it's not the
one's
worst Marvel movie.
this one's at least like 9 times better than that. So wait, no, that doesn't make sense.
It would be
No.
7 times?
about
Six
5
times. 6
times.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. 5 times. Man, I'm really bad at math, Jasper. All right.
Don't do my taxes, buddy.
I'll send you a link to TurboTax. We got to find one that's around to 47.
Justice League is 40.
Oh wow, that's pretty bad. What about the Snyder Cut?
I think that got way higher.
Let's see how much Joss Whedon ruined the Justice League.
I don't know. Do they have an individual score for that one? Let's see.
It should.
It's probably listed Zack Snyder. The Snyder Cut. That is actually on sale at Walmart this Black Friday for $9.99 on 4K Blu-ray.
Spooky wants to know Howard the Duck from the 80s.
The Snyder one got a 71.
Okay, so Joss Whedon's
almost doubled.
cut was ruined it by 31 points.
Quite a bit.
Is it just called Howard the Duck?
Yeah, it's called
Howard the Duck.
That movie scared the
movie
shit out of me
made
when I
it.
was a kid.
Yeah, me too.
That was a great movie. I loved it until the end.
Howard the Duck got a 14.
14? Okay. I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes anymore. 14. Spooky. All right. So here's the thing. Out of all these horribly rated movies, I loved all of them. Even the ones, even the Green Lantern, even X-Men, Dark Phoenix. You know why? Because they're superhero movies, and I love superhero movies. So I'm not really worried, about the Eternals. Everything scared me when I was a kid, babe. I know. All right. So, are you planning on seeing it like in the next week or so? You think? Anybody?
Yeah.
I may wait a little longer. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Now that
Yeah,
I
I'm
know all
going
these
this weekend.
spoilers, I may end up.
There's a
playing.
lot of stuff coming out for games.
But there's so much in that movie that I didn't say the crucial stuff. So
Yeah.
You're still
Yeah.
good.
You're good, dude. I'm just messing with you.
But I will say Harry Styles plays a character in this, and fans were not thrilled. But it's like,
Wonder
if-
Woman 84 got a 58.
Wow.
Really?
Movie that started this show, yeah.
Wow.
Origins of FunPop.
Man, that guy, the Wishmaster dude. Oh, I forget his name.
God. The guy from
Pedro
Game of
Pascal,
Thrones.
dude. I love you, man. Mandalorian, great. You're great, but that was like, that was almost as bad as emo Peter Parker.
God. Let's not talk about Spider-Man 3. That was probably one of the worst Spider-Mans.
Speaking of Spider-Man, there was some leaks about Spider-Man permeating the community in the last week or so.
Well, people need to stop listening to Tom Holland, all right?
Was that what? No, it was like, this was like leaked images, I think.
There was that one
no.
with Green
No, 'cause-
Lantern on the poster.
Well, there's
'cause
not
Tom-
that, but like,
Not Green Lantern, but Green Goblin.
3-Bit said that there was some screenshots from the movie making its way around social
Yeah.
media that ruined some like big plot points. 3-Bit actually said he saw it and he was upset. So
Yeah.
that's a forewarning, everybody.
Yeah, that's they were blaming Tom Holland. He's like, it wasn't me this time.
Oh, really?
But he's going around right now saying that that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield is not in this movie. Like, he's making a point to say they're not in the movie. That it's like, okay, why are you going so hard about there not being in there if they were never supposed to be in there? You know what I mean? So it's like, they're in there.
I'm
I
curious.
feel like if they were like, I kind of think they're not in there at this point because I feel like if they were in there, like they would be doing some press rounds or something. But
No, not if they're trying to keep it secret. They will not.
Yeah,
They
I
will
don't
not.
know, man. Like I don't know. That part of me is like, yeah, but then part of me is like, man, if you really wanted to drive up hype for the movie and market it to where it's gonna blow up, you would like have that in one of the trailers, right?
Well, that's the thing. Like, Sony Pictures UK posted 3 spiders with the new Spider-Man poster. This was like a month ago. I put
Yeah,
it in
you-
our DMs.
yeah.
And then there's, we see, Electro from Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. We see Doc Ock from
Toby.
Toby's Spider-Man. So same characters, same actors are playing them. And you're telling me those Spider-Mans are not going to be, either they make a cameo or at the very end or something. They're in the movie. I'm telling you, I have a feeling. There's there's too much that's been saying that they're there for them
I mean,
not to
I wouldn't be
there.
surprised if there's a cameo or something, but I just don't think they're gonna be like fighting alongside this Spider-Man, Tom Holland. Like, I just don't see that.
Maybe at the end, possibly. It depends on where they come into the story. If they come out towards the end of this, then no, they won't have a Rio fight. But that sets up some, other things for movies down the road. But we'll
Yeah.
get what Sinister Six is pretty much they're alluding to with all these characters that they're showing.
Yeah,
Has anyone watched Venom yet?
haven't had a
No.
chance to, man.
Oh,
No.
okay.
No,
We've
I
just
was
been sick so much, like it's like
Yeah.
driving me crazy. I want to see that really bad, and I need to see it before Spider-Man. Like that'd be weird. Like
What it has no, I don't think it has.
it doesn't
any
have
tie-ins.
anything to do with it. Yeah, but like it's still like I don't know. I would rather get Venom out of the way first. Like when does Spider-Man come out? Like
December 22nd, I think, or something.
oh, that's late.
Yeah,
Just right
Or
before Christmas.
December 12th or something. I don't know. It's in December.
December. Oh God, what's that? Come on, stupid date. All right, my controller.
Oh, I think December 22nd is Matrix. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So
I know we went over this several times. It just
December 9th?
Spider-Man. No, wait, hold
December
on.
9th?
December 17th, it says on Google, but
December 17th.
oh, the 9th, it might be the Chinese version. 17th, it says for US. I don't know.
Okay. So the 17th.
Okay.
17th we will get to see Spider-Man. That's 9 days after Halo comes out. That's 8 days after the Game Awards. That's gonna be December is gonna be a fun month this year. Usually December is a little bit lighter on stuff until after November and
Yeah.
before Christmas, right?
Well, and they just announced that the Gunk comes out the 16th of December.
Yeah.
The what?
The Gunk.
The Gunk
Oh,
for
Game
Xbox.
Pass Day 1.
Day 1.
Another one. They need to ease up, man. Like, what the hell?
They're not.
How are we supposed to play it? They're not. You're right.
yeah, I'm excited for the
I'm-
Matrix spooky.
Yeah, that new Matrix looks great.
Yeah, Matrix is on the 22nd.
And it's in HBO Max if you have
Yeah.
it.
Don't have to
The
leave my
last-
house.
The last HBO Max movie that's going to be simultaneous, but that's going to air at the same time at theaters to streaming is the Matrix, the last one. And then they got, and there goes day and date for HBO Max.
So Psycho, you sent something to us. Like Henry Cavill wants to be Superman still.
Oh yeah, he is freaking begging not begging, but he is like, hey, I want to do a sequel. Hey, I still got the cape. Like there's multiple like sites are stating that everywhere he's going, hey, I want to do another Superman movie. Like he wants to do it. Warner Brothers is like, no, we can't do that. We can't do another Superman movie. It's like,
Why?
come on. I don't know.
Is it like too much money he's asking, or like I don't know?
No, I don't think it's too much money. I don't think it has anything to do. I think it's because they don't want another. They don't want Zack Snyder to direct. That's what I think. Unless this new merger with Discovery Home or Discovery Plus, sorry, changes that, because it could. I don't know if it was, they could be like, why are we not doing this? Because look what the Zack Snyder cut did for Justice League. Like everything that you guys don't like does well, and everything you do like does not do well. So
Well, he's got to get The Witcher done first.
it's already done. I thought he's done shooting.
I mean, they got to do season 3 too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they'll do that later. But then he's not gonna have a mustache, so we're not gonna have any CG cover-ups. Yeah, so I sent a couple things that with Henry Cavill wanting to be Superman coming back, and then there was a couple, as you can see in my background, some new Batman posters, and then Hawkeye poster.
Yeah, Hawkeye comes
out
out next week, I think, or something.
November 24th.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah. He definitely, he said he'd love to return to the role.
Mhm.
So we'll see. Maybe that gives us hope, right? When they do decide to cast another Superman for a movie, that they'll consider him, because I think he's a good actor, right? I think he could be.
Oh, he's a very good actor.
Yeah, I think he could be Superman for a long time, right? Like if they allowed him to be. They just got to come out with movies.
He is the most outside of Christopher Reeves. He's the most. To me, he's more of a Superman than was it Brandon
The 2004 one or whatever.
Brandon, I think it was Brandon
Yeah,
Roth or something.
Brandon Roth,
and like and there's nothing with the to the CW Superman. I forget his name, but he does not scream Superman to me.
I feel like with the Henry Cavill one, though,
yeah.
they ruined the DCU timeline stuff. Like the whole order of those movies is like, we got to reboot Spider-Man or Superman now.
No, all they got to do is the Flash paradox, and it fixes everything.
Yeah, but you think they're going to do that?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of bright people there. Warner Brothers, apparently. Oh,
they're doing interesting stuff with Batman in the paradox.
Yeah, well, that's all they fucking do is Batman. Oh, look how many Batman movies we got compared to Superman.
Yeah,
that says everything.
They're
putting all their eggs in a basket with Batman. It's like, listen, you have other characters.
Okay, we just got done doing a Batman, so we're gonna reboot again and starting with Batman.
Yeah, we'll do another origin story.
I don't know why they can't come out with another Superman series that kind of takes it back to like the style of the Christopher Reeve movies, right? Because you had,
because like Zack Snyder, he did a different Superman take on Superman, because they pretty much what we've been seeing is the Injustice lead up to Injustice Superman, and Christopher Reeve is the iconic superhero, Truth, Justice, mean, coming in, saving the day, being the hero, the all-American type.
Yeah, but he even had they even had a Dark Superman movie with him in it, right? Where
when he was drinking, Superman 4. Yeah, let's not talk
yeah,
about
no,
that.
I know, but like they even went there with him. You know what I mean? Granted,
And
those
that didn't
movies
do
got
well.
worse as they went on. Just like all movies back then, like especially the superhero ones, right? They just stopped trying or
They
something.
just started milking it.
Yeah, exactly. They
Yeah.
just milked it, right? But they were at least willing to go there. I think the movies have gotten a lot better with milking it in the right way, where it's like they like milk it, but put more into the milking. You know what I mean? They want to make sure that milk is still good. You know, so I think like if they really went back to Man of Steel, right? Put the right emphasis and really focused on, because I think he's a great Clark Kent too, right?
Mhm.
And that's one thing with Christopher Reeve that they really focused on a lot was him as Clark Kent and the Daily Planet and all that stuff, right? And they really kind of had him be that like he's a regular person until he steps into that phone booth or whatever and takes off his shirt and he looks exactly the same. Somehow nobody knows it's him, but it had that like iconic heroic feel to it. And
Also,
yeah,
I think Superman's like one of the harder characters to write for because he's like so strong and he has the stupidest thing that like hurts him. It's like, I don't know.
yeah, the kryptonite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, he can beat everyone unless if you have a magic rock. It's like, okay.
Right.
Or if you're magic skill base.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Wait,
There's just so
wait
much you
until
can
he
do with
gets-
it, man.
gets around the red sun, then he goes like Super Saiyan.
But they even did that stuff in the freaking movie, in the Christopher Reeve stuff, right? They just didn't do it very well. Like they had him going into space and he got like power from the sun and stuff. Remember he had the enemy that like Lex Luger created that was
Lex Luger.
Luthor,
Star-Lord
sorry,
or-
Lex Luthor, not the wrestler. Lex Luthor.
Lex Luger.
The wrong villain. Lex Luthor
Or something. Was it Star-Lord or Star something? It was
I
Star
don't
something.
remember, but it's the blonde guy with the mullet, and that one movie.
Electricity.
Yeah, I don't know, like they had some interesting ideas that they just didn't capitalize on. But if you took it in this day and age and really like did a good story with that stuff, you could really like flesh out Superman, and do multiple movies. It's just they won't do it for some reason.
I want a Martian Manhunter movie.
Well, that's coming.
Yeah.
That's what they showed him at the end of Zack Snyder. He's coming.
We also got Hawkeye
see.
coming.
Yeah. I don't know how well that's going to be.
Yeah.
Y'all aren't excited for it?
Hawkeye wasn't my favorite.
Oh, well, hey, neither. What about Loki? Right, Loki was not a lot of people's favorite.
Yeah, but Loki.
It has a lot more stuff going on than Arrows.
Yeah.
You're not excited for
I'm
the
precisionally
Home
skilled with
Alone,
my arrows.
Home Alone style Christmas themed arrow shooting show on Disney Plus?
Now, if they did Ronin, the side of Loki, fuck yeah, let's do that. But not just a regular old plain Joe Hawkeye.
What do y'all think?
Well, I think
of
that
Haley-
in the
Haley
trailer
Steinfeld?
it showed his daughter like trying to be Ronin or something, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That's not his daughter
Yeah.
though, is it? That's
Or
Or whatever.
Katie
yeah.
Bishop.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was pretending to be Ronin, and he's like, "Stop that! That's not right. You gotta be good." And it's like, bro, you're just him. You're just Ronin going around killing Yakuza, and then now it's okay. That's not okay. Come on.
So what do y'all think about that casting as Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop?
Sure.
We'll have to wait and see. I don't have any yes or no problems with it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're definitely leading up to Young Justice League, though. I mean, got Katie Bishop She-Hulk is coming. The twins. So we'll definitely, they're leading up to that.
The new Black
And-
Widow chick.
And what? Oh my god! I'm gonna kill my camera.
Yeah.
And whatever.
Yelena, is that?
Elaine
Yeah.
is whatever is she? Either she's doing Thunderbolt Ross, Team Thunderbolt, or Dark Avengers. Whatever she's doing, she's getting that's setting something up too. So there's a lot of setting up with these movies, at least in the Marvel side. Sony's a little bit different with the Spider-Man, but these next couple of movies are all going to be a lot of setups. Same thing with Doctor Strange.
It's a lot of setups right now anyway, because you got to watch like the shows are set up something different than like what the movies are setting up, and
yeah, you definitely got to watch
connect?
WandaVision.
Yeah.
You got to watch WandaVision before you can watch Doctor Strange, and you have to watch Spider-Man because it leads up to Doctor Strange. So that got pushed back, right? May it got pushed back.
Everything got pushed back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it got pushed back 1 month, so it's not so bad for, at least with Doctor Strange, but a couple of the other movies got pushed back a lot farther.
They just said that they started shooting Guardians 3, I think yesterday or something like that. So
Oh yeah, there was a set photo.
Yeah.
Of the
And
cast.
Adam
together.
Warlock is gonna be in there. Yay.
Yeah, I saw him.
yeah, he was
and-
teased at was the first one or the second one.
Second, he was teasing one of the 5 end credits.
Yeah.
There was a couple actors in there I didn't recognize. So I'm curious to see, how that's going to play out. It's good to see that that's finally getting in the works, though, right? Because I feel like that was probably originally planned for a lot earlier, but then there's that whole thing with James Gunn and Disney that happened, and then he went on and did the Suicide Squad movie for DC. They had to wait for that to finish and wrap up, and then now they're finally back on track with this. And then I think after this is up, he's probably going to go back and just do DC stuff.
Is he doing the holiday special for Guardians?
That's a good question.
That I don't know. I don't know
Because that's supposed to come out before 3.
Is that have any actual relevance to anything?
I have
No.
no idea.
It's just a holiday special. It's just there's the holiday special. I think it's just like Groot probably be decorated with fucking lights, something
Right.
cheesy with a star on his head. I swear to God, it's
I
gonna
thought
be
it was just going to be like some dumb mission they go on or something.
It's gonna be like the life
Star Wars.
celebration from Star
Yeah.
Wars. It's gonna be that cheesy. That's like, oh, this was never made. I watched it. Holy crap, was that freaking horrible?
I watched like 5 minutes of it. I'm like, I can't.
So one thing that's
Other
interesting though about Guardians is it's been so long now, and nobody likes Chris Pratt anymore. He was on top of the world at the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie that came out. Right now, it's he's he doesn't get any big roles anymore.
He's getting Mario and Garfield.
Yeah, he's not even in the movies. Voice, right? Is it animate? They're animated, right?
Yeah.
It's funny though, how things have changed since the last movie.
Wasn't there memes like Chris Pratt is gonna voice Master Chief and Chris Pratt is gonna voice this, Chris Pratt is gonna voice that.
Mhm.
It's like,
Yeah, I don't
That's
have
all
any
he's gonna
issues
get.
with the guy or whatever. There was a
I think
big article
it's
that
'cause
came
he-
out, and he's getting criticized
Dude,
for saying something
like
about his
him as
wife
Andy.
or something. I don't.
I think he just came out on Twitter and stated political opinions that didn't agree with everyone else or something. I don't know.
Did he though?
Yeah,
I don't even know
yeah.
if there was actual political opinions, or was it just people digging?
I think
into
people
things,
reading into it. Yeah.
reading into things, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think he was with Anna Faris before too, and I think maybe ever since they broke up, it's people don't like him anymore. I don't. It's weird. I don't know. I don't follow all the gossip stuff that much. Kate just kind of looks into it, but I'm curious to figure out. Like, go and I'm gonna start googling like, why does the world not like Chris Pratt now? Because I feel like I'm just like, I don't know why. It's like weird. But there's seems like that happens sometimes where actors are really popular or something, and then all of a sudden just not anymore.
And then they can come back from it. Like
They
Robert Downey
can.
Jr. was like really big, and then he went to a crackhead, and then he was Iron Man.
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of stories like that actually. I think, like, dude, he plays a great Star-Lord, so I'm really excited to see the next Guardians movie. It's one of my favorite MCU franchises because it's so funny and different, right? We'll see how Thor is with the Guardians now as well, right? Didn't he like leave with them?
I don't know if he's staying with them though, because he's having his own movie coming out too.
Yeah.
Love and Thunder.
Is that which one comes out first, Love and Thunder or Guardians?
I think.
Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Love and
Okay.
Thunder comes out next year, 2022.
Because I didn't see him in that set photo.
Yeah, because Guardians is 2023. Wakanda Forever is holiday. That got pushed back 2022. Love and Thunder was pushed back to July.
I think Love and Thunder is supposed to focus on that Valkyrie chick more too. So
Yeah, because she's the new King of or Queen of Asgard.
Yeah.
Sorry. But James Gunn is directing the Guardians holiday special. He's a screenwriter and he's doing the story.
I still have no clue what the hell that's going to be.
Star-Lord, Drax, Rocket, Mantis, and Groot engage in some spirited shenanigans in all new original special.
Is it live action or animated?
yeah, it's live action.
Live action.
This thing's going to
So,
be weird.
no-
Man. It could
no
be great. It
Gamora.
could be classic. It could be classic.
I think it's just gonna be like some dumb mission that like they go on or something. I don't know.
Well, they
Yeah,
can't
to the
have
Christmas
Gamora
planet.
because Gamora is she doesn't really. Last time we saw her, she didn't really know what to think about things, right? Because she had just
Because it's a
come back.
different-
It's a
she's
different
from-
Gamora.
From
She got the
Different
old. They got the
universe.
old Gamora. Yeah.
Yeah, but did she go? Did she go with the Guardians at the end of that movie? Or is she off by herself? I think she's off by herself now, right?
I think
no
Star Wars
her
trying
and
to
her sister.
reconvince her to like love her again or whatever. Or love
Yeah,
him again.
he's
Yeah.
going back and like, I'm dating this guy. Yes.
What was the last
Oh,
thing that we saw them in? Was it Endgame?
yeah.
Okay.
It's just Endgame.
And what did she do in Endgame at the end? Did she turn on Thanos? I forget.
She when they re-snapped,
Yeah.
it's when she came back. I think, wasn't it?
No. She was from the alternate universe. Remember
Oh yeah,
when
yeah.
that Thanos came because they killed Thanos in
Yeah.
the beginning. So
Yeah, she's
That
just like
timeline.
Gamora from the past, right?
Yeah. It's like the first time we ever saw Gamora, so she doesn't know anyone.
yeah.
But she
Yeah,
came
but her
with
sister-
Thanos, right, as part of his army, right? And then
Well, she was trying to stop him. That was the thing. That's why she went to the original timeline sister
I just don't remember.
and was fighting against her timeline sister because she was really evil. And this timeline sister was good. And she's like, we need to stop our father, and then they did, whatever they did. And then she was trying to convince, tell her, hey, this is your boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. So I think the two of them are going to do the sisterly
Oh yeah,
thing.
yeah. Okay, I remember. Yeah, right.
And, and then.
And
we'll
then the
see.
wrong Nebula comes back.
Yeah.
Okay, I got. I'm starting to remember. I think
Yeah, when
Anyway,
they had
I have to go
timeline
back and
stuff,
watch-
it gets confusing.
I have to go back and watch Endgame again, like that whole sequence to remember clearly. I just don't remember if she went with them, with the Guardians at the end. because I don't know if they really made that clear, right? Did they show the
Did it
Guardians
never show
leave?
them leaving?
Didn't
think
Thor get on the ship with them?
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
ship was parked at the Avengers HQ or whatever, and they just like bye.
Oh, and that was the whole thing between Star-Lord and Thor was like, I'm the captain. Sure, yeah, whatever.
So was Gamora on the ship then?
I don't remember. I'm assuming she was.
Or no, was it because wasn't he like plugging in her coordinates or something to go find her? I don't fucking remember. Okay, anyway, all right, I'm gonna have to go back and watch. I gotta know where Gamora is. Anybody got anything else? You wanted to bring up a fun poppy?
Nothing fun poppy.
Nothing fun poppy.
Hopefully we get to see a Halo show at this Xbox event. I don't know.
Oh, there is the 13 MCU movies are going to be released on Disney Plus in IMAX format. So Iron Man, Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardian of the Galaxy 1 and 2, Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, Infinity War, Endgame, Black Widow, and Shang-Chi.
But I don't have an IMAX screen.
I know. No, it's going to be 16:9 format. So you're going to see. So it's going to be like that.
So you're going to have like the bars on the top and the bottom. So that way it's like drawn out, right?
Yeah. So you're going to see the entire picture.
Do they have better audio as well, or?
Yeah, I think they have. I think Disney Plus has Dolby Atmos.
Well, I mean, like, IMAX movies is like, IMAX audio and video.
Well, it's Dolby Atmos.
Okay.
What they use. So I think they use it already, but it's more geared towards that Dolby Atmos surround sound experience. So
yeah, spooky. There's Ant-Man movie coming. It's Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania or something, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I don't remember.
Quantum Mania.
Ant-Man always kind of slips under the radar for me. I watch him, but it's just like, it's Ant-Man.
Yeah, they set up good stuff. Like, if you had to watch Ant-Man and Wasp to know about the quantum realm and set up things, and then that's where this movie goes. And then I think
Michelle Pfeiffer's character may play a role in the future as well.
Yeah, because she got snapped back.
Yeah. And she's kind of like an expert with the quantum realm, right? Because she's lived there.
Been in there for fucking decades.
Yeah.
Isn't there supposed to be like some like creatures that live in the quantum realm or something?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's shit.
Tiny quantum shit. All right, so
quantum shits.
Yeah, there's more Ant-Man coming. It's we're looking forward to that. And let's see, yeah, those IMAX movies. I'm curious, like how it's gonna be. It'll give
November
me an
12th.
excuse to check them back
starts out. 2 days, Matt. So if you're gonna rewatch Endgame, wait 2 more days and watch the IMAX version.
Is it like, how do you select it? Is it like gonna be an option? I guess you could choose like which
They'll
version.
They'll have like, if you go into like the Marvel section and they got phase 1, phase 2, so on, and then you can watch the timeline in timeline order, and then they'll probably have IMAX movies or however IMAX format.
Cool. And what were you saying about Halo, Jasper?
I was just saying I hope that at this Xbox event they show a little bit of the Halo show, but we'll see.
Oh, like the Halo TV show?
Yeah.
I want that too, man. I'm too nervous about it though. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like the actor, the TV and stuff, show? I gotta hear the voice as Master Chief.
I guess they're doing I can't think of his fucking name right now, but I guess they're doing the guy that plays Master Chief.
Steve Downs.
Yeah,
no,
Steve Downs.
He's not doing his voice.
Not?
No.
Oh.
It's the actor. Because I actually got to interview Steve Downs and stuff, and like it's
Better put a filter on him.
like
Unless they
he's not
got
involved
him-
at all with that.
Unless he sounds very similar to Steve Downs.
He
Yeah,
doesn't.
put like a
Hold
heavy
on.
filter on him.
His name is Pablo Schreiber.
Well, that doesn't. It's like Spanish chief.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, well, you need somebody that's tall.
This is
Unless they do.
this is Pablo
unless they do
Schreiber.
a whole.
He's ripped.
Unless they do what do you call it, the Darth Vader, tall actor Steve Downs voice, and they just not saying anything, keeping all hush hush to
Yeah.
I just kind of think this is their best like shot to show it, like if they're going to show it at an event, because like everything else is going to be Halo like video game news. So like this is the best time to tease it.
Yeah, well, this is going to be the last 20 years, so we're going to see
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. I'm assuming we'll probably get some new back compat updates.
I have a feeling they have little teases in there, but nothing
They're
like
gonna-
big.
They're going to talk about stuff that's coming out in the future, what they're going to be doing. Possibly we'll probably see a 20th anniversary Xbox as well.
Yeah.
'Cause if they did a 20th anniversary Halo Xbox, good chances they're going to do a 20th anniversary Xbox. And I hope it's that smoky gray translucent case that we had that controller. If we get that controller
Oh, the
as
series,
an Xbox, holy crap.
the Series X Xbox just kind of already has that like same feel as the original Xbox. It has that big green thing underneath like the cover. It's like, and it's that matte
Mhm.
black, so it's like kind of already in the same vibe of it.
Yeah, but I want that translucent black.
So here's a quote from Pablo Schreiber. He says, "I don't do impressions. I play characters."
Oh,
He said on
Okay.
the video games focus on Master Chief. It says, "I don't do impressions. I play characters. While everyone knows the Master Chief, this show is an opportunity for all of us to get to know John."
Yeah, so
No,
that means they're going to
God.
show him and not Master Chief.
Yeah. Thank you for your kind words. We're all working incredibly hard to bring something to the screen so that everyone can get behind. I'm kind of okay.
Is this going to be an origins of John 117 before
I
he
think
becomes
they
Chief?
said it takes place during the whole saga. Like,
Well, the origins of Chief is he was like a 7-year-old that was abducted by Halsey.
Yeah.
So
There's probably
Yeah,
gonna
but
be
I
a little
mean,
bit of everything.
leading up
yeah,
to being before combat involved.
Halo TV show timeline. I think they've already told us.
I don't know.
When
I
it's
don't
said. So
think they did.
I'm gonna go back and look.
I don't think they
Halo
said-
TV show is an upcoming live action series produced by Showtime and planned to premiere Paramount Plus. Okay.
Plot.
Halo the television series.
the problem is if they like going to focus on John, it kind of ruins the whole Master Chief vibe because like
It's-
Master Chief's like you can see yourself in him. He never shows his face, so you're like it's always a mystery of like who it is.
It's set during the Human Covenant War.
So that would be between Halo 1 and like 2, pretty much.
No, between
But the Human Covenant War was
Mm.
already existed when Halo 1
so
started.
it'd be pre-combat involved, like pre-reach.
It could be
Yeah.
at the beginning of Reach was
Beginning
Like-
of Reach is when we first found the Covenant because the Spartans
Yeah.
went there thinking it was like humans fighting back, but they was like, oh shit,
So,
we got aliens.
it'll fall anywhere between Reach, the beginning of Reach, and Halo, the end of Halo 3.
The Covenant found Reach because they knew what Reach was, and that's what they went. So the fight's been going on in space, but I think
Even before Reach,
this
right?
is-
Yeah,
I think Reach was the first time the Covenant came to
a human world.
shoot the human world.
Yeah.
So if this takes place pre-Reach and they, this is what leads up to who he is as Master Chief, you know, up to that point. Maybe having the mask on alters his voice, and that's how they're gonna play it. Maybe, you know, he doesn't have his helmet. We don't see him in that suit
It'll
yet.
be
Maybe
before. It'll be after CE because Cortana is probably going to be in it, right? So I think it'll be like Chief and Cortana together, right?
Because he didn't get Cortana until after Reach, because that's the whole objective of Reach is getting Cortana to Chief.
Right. So CE at the beginning of CE is when they hook up. So I think it's going to happen with the timeline of events between like Halo and Halo 2 and 3, and I think they will probably start with the around Halo CE.
Because at the end of like Halo 2 is when the Covenant like breaks apart and like humans team up with the elites and stuff. So,
but I think we're gonna see like him without the helmet. We're gonna see him talking a lot. We're gonna see like, you know, behind the scenes. Maybe this is an opportunity to show when you're not controlling Chief and, you know, doing those, like what happens, like what is it like when Chief takes a piss? You know,
what does Chief do in his off time?
You know, what does he do? Like how much does he eat? I don't know.
All IV. It's all IV. He doesn't have to eat. Oh, did you guys see or hear about they're making a standalone Incredible Hulk movie?
Is that official? Is that a rumor?
World Breaker Hulk.
Is it going to be the same Mark Ruffalo, or is it just going to be a different dude?
No details have been said, but Ruffalo's going around and is saying that he's like, man, we need a standalone freaking Hulk movie and so on. And then I was watching something, and Insider came out and said that they're working on World Breaker Hulk, a standalone Hulk movie. So this takes place after Endgame. So right now, Bruce Banner is back being himself. He's no longer Professor Hulk, and that's where this takes place. And then, but he loses somebody, and that's what makes him the angriest he's ever been, and just goes back and destroys everything. Like, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm. We'll see if it's ever officially announced. These insiders that say this stuff, I'm like, okay, you know, we'll see. I don't know. Like a lot of these guys, they say a lot of stuff and then it doesn't end up happening. So, I'm curious. It sounds awesome if it happens.
Yeah, from the video I was watching, the guy that the insider where they got the leak from, he's been pretty accurate on a lot of his leaks leaks within the MCU. So that's fingers crossed. Woo.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, everybody, this was fun. FunPop was back in action. Jasper, thanks for being here as always, dude. Where can everybody find you, sir?
Check me out on Twitter at Jasper_Gaming_ and YouTube at Jasper Gaming. If San Andreas goes live tonight, I'll probably be streaming that at midnight if it's live tonight. So check that out.
Nice. So you're not buying the whole trilogy. You're just going with the San Andreas.
I'll buy Vice City if they sell it standalone. I haven't looked to see if they sell it standalone, but I don't care about 3.
They don't yet. So.
Yeah.
Cool. Which one is the one with Tommy as the main character? Was that Vice City or 3?
I think it's Vice City.
Vice City, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't remember. I couldn't remember. All right. Psycho.
I think Alex is the 3, right?
Yeah, the Vice City and 3 like blur in my head.
Yeah. Vice City's like Tommy Grassetti. It's some like Italian name or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Psycho, thanks for being here as well. And sorry guys, I couldn't do last week. No, it's good to be back. Tell everybody where they can find you, Psychonauts.
Yeah. Mad Jasper, it's always fun doing the show with you guys. Chat, thanks for coming out. You guys are fantastic. You guys will you won't find me Friday at in the mornings. I'll be playing Elden Rings. Just gotta throw that out there.
You mean Elder Scroll?
Elden Ring.
Elden Rings.
Oh,
No.
Elden Ring
Yeah, I got
technical
the
test.
okay.
So I was one of the lucky few. I'm very surprised that not a lot of people got it. That I thought would get it in the community, but yeah, you can find me of course here every Wednesday at 7 doing FunPop, and Fridays with the M7. Hopefully we'll have everyone back like we had last week. It was awesome. You can just find me there, Xbox Ultimate, 9 o'clock, and then my YouTube channel, Gamer Chat Podcast, Gamer Chat, one word. I can't stream it. They big bold letters, do not stream. It's like shit.
Yeah, that's I don't like. Why not? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Come on.
Because it's ongoing. It's an early production. I'm like,
Gotta have confidence in your product.
Yeah.
well, no shit. People know that it's a freaking work in progress. It's a beta.
Beta means full game, right?
So that, yeah.
Apparently, the ponies it does.
All right. So, shout out to Pixelbit G. The Harvest was the first glass planet. Yeah. Thank you for the lore reminder.
Yeah, I've been doing a bunch of the later shit in Halo recently, trying to catch up with Infinite. So I haven't looked at the early stuff.
I kind of want to go and play 5 again before Infinite comes out, but then I don't want to play 5 again.
Well, you can stream it now, so you don't have to download it. You can stream it to the Xbox.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want to play it, but I want to. I'm gonna go watch the cutscenes again. That's what I'll do.
I'll find it on YouTube.
Yeah. Gbone, thank you. Crazy Louie, thank you. Spooky, thank you. Everybody who's here today for the show, Doom Reaper, Big Mad Mo, Tony Grasso, even my beautiful wife Kate, who was teasing me in the chat for being a scaredy cat when I was a kid. Yes, thank you all for being here. Check this out on audio platforms. Also, tomorrow it's PM in the PM. Me and Pong are gonna deep dive some shit. Friday, Xbox Ultimate. Gonna be a fun show this week, for sure. Lots of fun stuff to talk about. And Saturday, FSP will return. Again, I was able to do it last week, but yeah, full slate this week, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you all, and we will see you again next time on FunPop.
See you guys later.
FunPop.